is good? It's your boy Ty back here with another video, and in this video today, guys, we're going to be going over and ranking our top 10 small forwards right now in NBA 2K23 MyTEAM. Now, with the point guard and shooting guard list, make sure to go watch those, but a lot of those were occupied by endgame cards. Small forward list is mostly endgames, but there are some just a little differences in there as well. Now, before I dive any further into that, guys, if you're new to the channel, man, make sure to smash that subscribe button. We're on the road towards 120,000 subscribers. Gonna go over a few honorable mentions. Larry Bird up first, honorable mention. The other honorable mention, wherever he's at, is Paolo Banchero. I mean, didn't quite make the list, but is a really solid overall small forward nonetheless. Started it off here at number 10 is Dark Matter Chet Holmgren, 7'1", 195 pounds. Movement-wise is really good. Stat badge-wise is really good. You guys might be like, Ty, why is he this low on your list? Well, I mean, it really comes down to this. There's just better cards, right? I mean, end games have better release than Chet. Chet's player model's good, his movement's good. I actually do like Chet's release as well. It's just not quite that end game level. Still really good, really solid. If you lock in Chet, you can still run him. Honestly, I'm a firm believer you could possibly have Chet all the way up at number 5 here. For me, though, I prefer this guy. And this is just me and my opinion. I prefer Hero Bol coming in at number 9 to Chet. Now, this has always just kind of been a personal preference thing, and for me, I prefer Bol. 7'2", 222 pounds, or 220 pounds, I should say. Badge-wise, basically the same as Chet. Here's really the difference. Chet has a quicker release. Chet is maybe better movement-wise. Bol, though, defensively should be a little bit better for you playing lane, stuff like that. So, again, between Chet, between Bol, I don't really think there's necessarily a wrong answer. For me, I prefer Chet and Bol, both to a guy like Banchero and Larry Bird. Even some of those other guys like a Jonathan Bender, I'd rather prefer Bol in general. Now we're going to talk about our number 8. Our first endgame card here on the list is endgame Dark Matter Anthony Davis. Now, with AD, he's not super expensive, and what you need to realize is Anthony Davis defensively is going to be a problem. Okay, that's the first thing you need to realize. Wide player model player build. As far as an on-ball defender, it doesn't get much better than AD. The problem is movement-wise, because he's 253 pounds, he can't misdirection behind the back. His movement's not going to be great, and so those are the pros and cons you got away with AD. Feel like AD is going to be really cheap when endgame and invincible packs do end up coming out. And when they do come out, I wouldn't have a problem picking up AD. I think the card is going to be solid. But any higher than 8, I just think is a really tough, it's just a tough thing to talk about. Coming in here at number 7, endgame Moses Malone. Movement-wise is really good. 6'10", gonna play lanes. Very similar to what AD is going to be. No reason for me to show their SIGs and animations on 2K database because, again, all of these endgames basically have these same exact SIGs, same exact animations. All that really matters is wingspan, player model, player build. I'd go as far as to say, Anthony Davis defensively definitely going to be better than Moses Malone. But on the offensive end of the court, Moses' movement can be that second or third ball handler for you. I think gives you a little bit more to put him right over Anthony Davis. Again, I think it's close. Both cards are 6'10" endgames. It really comes down to who you prefer. For me, especially considering you can get him free out of RNG, I'll take Moses Malone. At number 6, we've got another small forward in here that's very similar to Moses Malone. Very similar to a guy, let's say, like Anthony Davis. That's KG. To me, KG is just a little taller version of Moses Malone, right? 6'11", just a little bit taller. Again, not a very wide player model, player build, gonna move well. I feel like KG is just your pretty solid hybrid at that 3, right? Gonna knock down shots, play good defense. Big thing for KG, again, might go down in price, but as it stands right now, still pretty pricey, right? 100K, right at the 100K. If he ever goes down, when endgame and invincible packs come out, I would have no issue running him because I'm a firm believer he's basically like a Ben Simmons or right-handed Ben Simmons at that 3, you know, a Giannis type player at that 3. So that's just kind of how I think of KG. I like KG in general. I think KG is a really solid option for you and your specific squad. Now cracking our top 5. Where's the man with the plan? Did I just see him? No, I did not. The man with the plan at number 5 is Big Dirk. Now, I would be lying to say I've ever really used Dirk in my team because I haven't, but he's 7'1" at the 3. Kind of that hybrid player model where he's not necessarily skinny, not necessarily as wide as AD. I don't know what his movement's necessarily like. I don't know what his player build's necessarily like. Not that many people are even running Dirk. But 7'1" at the 3, you're not going to get much better than that. I'm just going to tell you guys how I feel. You're not. 7'1" at the 3, endgame SIGs, endgame release. Tough to beat Dirk in my team, right? You can add all the shoes, all this badge, anything you want to try to make him look better. Endgames come perfect. Dirk, really solid in my team. Again, it is all preference based, but 7'1" at the 3 with endgame SIGs, it's tough to beat. At number 4, and it's crazy that he's at number 4, endgame Bobo. It is absolutely crazy, and he'll probably be on my power forward list as well. But it is absolutely crazy to me that Bobo is all the way down at number 4. It is, because I thought when this card came out, obviously, you know, you guys probably know who my 1 and 2s are. But I thought when this card came out, you know, he might be the best small forward of the game. It's just hard, though, because when we got a guy like Wemby at the small forward position, how is a guy like Bobo supposed to compete, right? He's got all the endgame SIGs. His movement is absolutely elite. Now, I will give Bobo credit where it's due. The movement at 7'2" for Bobo is absolutely elite. I mean, his game behind the back is immaculate. I mean, he moves well defensively. From top to bottom, movement-wise, you're not going to get much better than Bobo. The problem is, there's just taller cards in my team. I love Bobo as much as anybody, but coming in at number 4. At number 3, a guy that is very similar to Bobo, endgame Kristaps Porzingis. Now, you can have Bobo over KP. You can have KP over Bobo. I'll phrase it like this. As far as interior defense, Kristaps is going to have the edge over Bobo, okay? As far as movement, Bobo has the edge over KP. As far as offense, Bobo has the edge over KP. I just think KP is going to get you more stops against Yao, against Sean Bradley, against Taco, against Manu. And that's the big thing for me is KP's switchability, his ability at 7'3" to get you those paint stops. I just think in today's game is a little more important. And I'm not saying Bobo can't do that. I'm just saying the extra inch that KP does indeed have is super valuable. So between KP and Bobo, it really is preference. You can like Bobo more. You can like KP more. There is no right or wrong answer. Both cards are absolutely elite. KP coming in here at number 3. At number 2, it's crazy. Invincible Victor Wembanyama at number 2. Now, they did patch the both Wemby things, I do believe, so you can no longer run both Wembys together, and that is important. So it's not like, oh, you can run this Wemby at your backup small forward, and then the end game Wemby, who is my number 1, obviously, at your primary starting small forward position. But here's the deal. If you have this Wemby and he's unauctionable, he should be the Wemby you run, okay? I feel bad, though, for everybody who had unauctionable Wemby, and then they saw the glitch and might have bought endgame Wemby and were running them together all for 2K to patch. That would be kind of a sad situation. But here's the deal. Between the Wembys, it's preference-based. I can't sit up here and say this Wemby is worse than endgame Wemby for everybody out there, because it is preference-based. If you like the Kuz-based Tim Duncan upper, you might like this Wemby better. For me personally, though, give me endgame Wemby every day of the week over invincible Wemby. That's my preference. I'm hoping eventually, you know, all the prices will be able to crash, and with my 500,000 MT, I'll be able to build my squad how I want it to. 7-5, perfect SIGs, perfect animations. Again, not everybody loves the KPJ with Sadiq release, and I get that. If you don't like that release, you're probably not going to like endgame Wemby as much as I personally do. But once you get used to it, I feel like, you know, it's a release that is solid enough in my team. And that is why endgame Wemby is my number 1 small forward in my team. Again, between both Wembys, what you're looking at is a 7'5" small forward that can move and groove. You can't ask for much more than that. 7'5", plays lanes, good release on both cards. How do you top that? How do you beat that? Short answer, guys, you can't. It is nearly impossible to get better than Victor Wembanyama in my team. And when the Invincible Wemby came out, I said he's your best small forward and probably will be the best small forward for the rest of the year. Obviously, 2K being money hungry, Dropped an endgame Wemby, which, to be honest, I'm not surprised at all. Because look, if I was 2K, if I was a CEO, I can't sit up here and say I wouldn't have done the same thing. Endgame Wemby, our #1 small forward in NBA 2K23 MyTEAM. That's gonna wrap it up for our video, guys. Drop a like on it, subscribe if you already do it. As always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.